welcome. Thank you for joining. Welcome. Thank you for joining wherever you are joining us from. Appreciate you. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for joining the program. I appreciate you. You are welcome once again. Welcome. Welcome to the program. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Welcome, my beloved sister Linda Tisho. Thank you so much, my sister. I appreciate you. Yeah, we must continue, my sister. Thank you so much. Ozemena, thank you for joining. Ozemena, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Please like and share as you join. Ebom family, thank you for joining. Ebom's family, thank you for joining. I appreciate you.
Promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoto. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy. Because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so. because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. I had in Sosine Bigebi. He said,
welcome. Thank you for joining us on this program today. I appreciate every one of you that has connected to this program, wherever you are connecting from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greeting according to your time zone. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I come online. You will be among the first to receive the information. I appreciate everyone that has connected to the program. I thank you so much for connecting. Thank you for joining wherever you are joining us from. I say may Chukwu Okike Abịama continue to guide and protect you, continue to secure you, and continue to keep you. I welcome everyone that has joined us early this morning. I welcome everyone that has joined us according to your own time zone, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate my beloved sister, Linda TV show. I appreciate you for always being there for me. Thank you so much for joining. Ozemena, I appreciate you. Ozemena, thank you for joining. Ebun, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Everyone that is joining. Chukwu Nwabo, thank you so much for joining. Chukwu Nwabo, I appreciate you. And every other person who has connected to this program, I appreciate you and I thank you so much for joining me on the program. I say may Chukwu Okike Abịama guide and protect you. Wherever you are joining us on this very program, please kindly like and share the program. Share to family and friends. Share it to those who are close to you. Share to anybody you can reach. Even our enemies, you can share to them so that they will hear us and get our own point of view. We are still on the radical evangelism, making sure that our voice is being heard. We will not keep silent. We will not stop talking. We will continue to talk and shout on top of our voices until they hear us. Wherever you are watching us from, you will know that today, you can agree with me that today, Biafran people are standing their ground and speaking in one voice. Today is another day of sit at home. And as we go on and on and on and on, their propaganda and their blackmail will continue to increase. But that will not stop us. Against all their propaganda, all their blackmail and lies, the Biafran people have remained consistent, and we are doing what you're supposed to do, letting the world hear our voice. So today being another day of sit at home, yesterday was another success, and I appreciate everyone that participated yesterday. And today, in another day, people are still sitting at home, making sure that our plans is being followed up, making sure that our voice is being heard all over the world. And I appreciate every one of you. Today, every one of you have to agree and know that we are in a journey of freedom. That triumphant entry into Biafra land has begun, and we are entering without stopping, without any hindrance, without looking at left or right, without looking at any blackmail or propaganda. We will continue to march on until we walk into our freedom very, very soon. Fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching from, please try to reach out to others to join us so that they can be able to get the information as they come. The journey to freedom is not an easy one. The journey to freedom is tough. The journey to freedom takes sacrifice. I want you to always have this at the back of your mind. If you know that the journey of freedom requires sacrifice, you have no reason to complain. You have no reason to doubt. You have no reason to worry when you see things happening today. Biafra land, as we all know, is a place that we want to rescue. And everything we are doing today is focusing on Biafra land. That land which belongs to us. That land which we want to protect our borders and territory. And this is a fact. Some people will tell us to go to Abuja. Some will tell us to go to outside the Biafra land. We go to Abuja, go to Asorok and do what we are doing. We cannot go to Abuja. Neither are we going to go to Asorok. We are concerned about our own territory. We want to recover our territory. We are not planning to take anybody's land. Neither are we trying to fight against anybody in their land. We are trying to protect our land. We are trying to chase away every rat in our own land. We are trying to chase away every enemy that is in our territory. And that is what we're going to do. So when you see people bringing those their flimsy arguments, these are people who has nothing to offer. These are people who has no plan. Every one of you know that those of us who are standing with the Biafra, the political government in exile, with our Prime Minister Mazi Samuel Ekpa in command, we know what we are doing, and we have a template on how to rescue Biafra and get our nation. We are not the same with people who are just making noise. We are not the same with the people who are just having Biafra as their career. We are not in the same line with people who are just using Biafra as a career, as a means of livelihood. That is not what we are for. We have our template on how to get Biafra, and we have a target on how to get Biafra and when to get Biafra. And we are pursuing that target earnestly without looking left, right, or center. We are focused on getting Biafra. That is where every one of us that is standing with the Biafra Republic of Nigeria is focused. We have a target, 2023, to get Biafra. And that target is what we are pursuing. That is why we are doing everything we are doing. That is why we will not listen to any blackmail, any propaganda. That is why we will not listen to any message from the DSS. The responsibility of Biafra Republic of Nigeria is to make sure that Biafra is restored and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is freed. This is our mission, and we continue to pursue that mission with our own project and our own determination. Nobody can dictate the stage for us. You that is not in the struggle, you that is not part of the struggle, you cannot dictate the stage for us. We are going to the stage, and we are going to dictate where the war is going to be fought, where we're going to fight our battle, and how we're going to win our battle. And no man born of a woman is going to change our mind. No man born of a woman can stand in our way and be as a hindrance. If you stand in our way and be a hindrance, we are going to crush you, and we'll move ahead to rescue Biafra. The safety of the Biafran people, the security of Biafra land is paramount to every one of us. No amount of your blackmail is going to stop us. Every Biafran in Biafra land today that is genuinely seeking for freedom, we are all in line and we know what we are looking for. We know that the most important thing that we are pursuing today is the freedom of more than 70 million people who are Biafrans living across the world and in Biafra land. The life of these people have been endangered. So many of them have lost their life and property and means of livelihood, and we cannot fold our hands and continue to pretend that we're not seeing it. More than 70 million Biafrans have no representation in the Geopolitical Republic. Nobody speaks for us, nobody stands for us, nobody can go in for us, and nobody can put up a case for us. Today we have taken responsibility on ourselves to secure our land and to secure ourselves, to free ourselves from captivity, to free ourselves from the clutches of the enemies. They are fighting right, left, and center. They are fighting so hard to keep us down. They are fighting very hard to see that they stop us from making progress. But the more they try to stop us, the more we make progress. The more they try to hinder us, the more we make progress. The more they try to make us irrelevant, the more we become relevant to the world. Today, I can tell you that the whole world is listening to the Biafra Republic government in exile. The only command today that is speaking on behalf of Biafra, the Biafra Republic government in exile, is the only command that is today speaking on behalf of Biafrans. Very, very clear. When you see our enemies push their propaganda and blackmail, they try to push it right, left, and center. They try to shove it over people's neck to make them believe that Biafrans are not taking command from the Biafra Republic government in exile. But when you look at the things on the ground, first of all, more especially in the seat at home, you will see the 100 compliance in the seat at home. Even when they have tried with their blackmail to stop the seat at home, they could not stop it. They went and installed their so-called EED that I don't know where it comes from. And they say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. And you and I know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot be building an economy under Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot be building any economy under Nigeria. He himself has said it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said it by himself. That there is no way Biafra can be able to survive under Nigeria. There's no way the Biafran people can make a headway under Nigeria. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu knows very well that the Biafran people are in captivity in Nigeria. How can anybody begin to talk of an economy in Nigeria? How can anybody be talking about a stable economy in Biafra land? Building an economy in Biafra land in Nigeria? A lie from the pit of hell. The only way out for us is for us to get our independence. And when we have an independence, we can be able to have everything that we desire. Without the independence of Biafra, you cannot have security. Without the independence of Biafra, you cannot have a good economy. Without the independence of Biafra, you cannot be regarded as human. You will not be treated as human. That is why the Biafran people are pursuing their self-determination. A journey that was started by our Supreme Leader Nnamdi Kanu for more than a decade ago. How can somebody wake up all of a sudden and say that Nnamdi Kanu is no longer interested in that journey? This is the lie they are pushing. This is the lie the Zoological Republic is pushing, telling us that Nnamdi Kanu is no longer interested in the struggle. Let me tell you, get this into your head. Our Sudan Nnamdi Kanu can never, ever say what they are saying. And even if anything happens and Nnamdi Kanu come out today and say that he's no longer interested in Biafra, 70 million Biafrans will continue the journey. We are going to continue the journey, get Biafra, and again bring Nnamdi Kanu into it. That is the truth. Nothing, just like Nnamdi Kanu have said in the past, nothing can stop the coming of Biafra. No human being, no matter whom you are, no matter your status, no matter what you think you have done today, tomorrow, yesterday, and time to come, no matter what, until Biafra comes, the journey will continue. Nobody will stop it. Today you see them using their propaganda to turn Nnamdi Kanu against the masses. This is a fight they are fighting so hard to turn Nnamdi Kanu against the masses. And I beg you, if you are a genuine Biafran, you must have to keep your mind open. Keep your mind open. Do not listen to this blackmail they are pushing. If anybody tells you that our Supreme Leader Nnamdi Kanu is no longer interested in the journey of Biafra, do not buy that idea. That is a lie from the pit of hell. That is a lie from the pit of hell. And this is why they have held him captive. This is why they have hidden him from us. This is why they cannot release Nnamdi Kanu. This is why they cannot bring him in the public. Even when Nnamdi Kanu have been given freedom, they know very well that when you release Nnamdi Kanu, he is going to speak his mind. He's going to speak to his people. And his mind will always be Biafra. They know that Nnamdi Kanu is not willing to give up the Biafran freedom. That is why they are holding Nnamdi Kanu in captivity. That is the only reason why Nnamdi Kanu remain in prison. Because he has refused to reject Biafra. If Nnamdi Kanu actually said what they are saying, if Nnamdi Kanu actually wrote the letter they brought, if Nnamdi Kanu actually told them to tell us that he is no longer interested in Biafra, they will free Nnamdi Kanu with immediate effect. If Nnamdi Kanu denounced Biafra, he will not spend the next 48 hours in DSS. But Nnamdi Kanu that we know have said that it is either Biafra or death. Nnamdi Kanu that we know have already surrendered his life for Biafra. That is why we must not keep silent. That is why we must not relent in our efforts. That is why we must continue to pursue our freedom until we rescue Biafra. The only thing that can give back life to Nnamdi Kanu is Biafra. The only thing that can guarantee the life of Nnamdi Kanu is Biafra. If you love Nnamdi Kanu, if you love him and you cherish his sacrifice he has made for more than a decade, if you love him and you cherish the sacrifice he has made, including giving up his own parents, you must continue to stand up and fight for Biafra. You must continue to know that the only man today that is pursuing the agenda and pursuing the desire of Nnamdi Kanu, you must support him. That is our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. You must give all your support to Biafra Republic Government in Exile. Wherever you are as a Biafran today, if you care and value the life of your supreme leader, you must fight by all means to make sure that he's freed. You must fight to make sure that he's freed. There is no other way to set Nnamdi Kanu free except Biafra. There is no other solution to set him free from DSS except Biafra. If you genuinely care about him, you must continue to ask for the freedom of Biafran people. And I can tell you, everybody who has been talking about the freedom, so many of them have no template. Ask them, the people that are telling you that you should stop sitting at home, that they're going to free Nnamdi Kanu, ask them, what is their template? What is their template? Ask them, what is their template to guarantee the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu? They have no template. But I can tell you the Biafra Republic government in exile, who has today held in with the mindset of the people, who has today spoken the mind of the people that who are now carrying the agenda forward. The Biafra Republic government in exile, they are doing everything possible to make sure that Nnamdi Kanu is free, and that is why they are holding on to the seat at home, which the Biafra people have agreed. The Biafra people on their own have agreed on this civil disobedience. And even a child, a blind man, deaf and dumb, they know that civil disobedience of sit at home is making effect, is having a strong effect in the Zoological Republic. I don't know why it is so hard for people to understand. I don't know why they continue to deny this fact. It is a fact, a plain and open fact, that the only reason why today the Geopolitical Republic is talking about Nnamdi Kanu, shouting on top of their voices, the reason why they are crying, they cannot stop talking about Nnamdi Kanu, is because of the seat at home. If you give up this weapon, you will have yourself to blame. And I thank Chukwu Okadua that the Biafrans are not willing to give up something that is working. Something that is working, that everybody knows that is working. The only reason why they are still mentioning Nnamdi Kanu today, the only reason why the enemies of Biafra is going crazy, and I want to tell you, anytime you wake up in the morning and you see your enemy laughing with you, you see your enemy all of a sudden have started singing the same song with you, you see your enemy all of a sudden started liking your topic, it means you are doing nothing. Beware, your life is in danger. Anytime you wake up and you see your enemy in the same line with you, in the same platform with you, now speaking the same tone with you, be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. And that is what we see today. When you see the enemies come and line themselves up and they are preaching the gospel, every one of them finally got themselves on one angle. And the only message they have today is to fight against sit at home. The sit at home, civil disobedience that different people are holding, has become the only thing that every one of them is against. They go to Nnamdi Kanu to go and visit him as pilgrim. They go to pilgrimage to Nnamdi Kanu. Everyone that goes there, the only message they bring to us is stop sit at home. Stop sit at home. Stop sit at home. Is sit at home the only thing that matters to them? Nobody have gone there to tell us when Nnamdi Kanu is going to go to court. Nobody has gone there to come out and tell us how Nnamdi Kanu will be freed. Nobody has come there to come and give us a hope and say that Nnamdi Kanu is coming down so that day and so day. The only thing they come out to tell us is when Nnamdi Kanu want to stop sit at home, including giving a date. They are fighting tooth and nail, but I tell you, they have made a rock. They have made the rock, and no matter how they try, no matter how they throw their challenges, no matter the obstacle, no matter the hindrances, we will continue to hold on this thing that is working. I bet you, if they tell you, is it sit at home and give you Biafra, tell them yes. If they ask you, is it sit at home that will give you Biafra, tell them, capital yes, sit at home will give us Biafra. You can see how sit at home is bringing tears in the eyes of the enemies. You can see how sit at home is giving them sleepless night. If sit at home is not working, if it's not having an effect, it will not give them sleepless night. Today, when you go to their conventional media, every politician in Biafra land, the only topic they have to discuss in any program we call them is sit at home. And while Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa has become the only threat that they know. Our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa has become the only threat that they know. All the politicians, all their energy is channeling towards him. And today, for most of you that have heard the broadcast yesterday, you heard our Prime Minister speak directly, and he made a clear point. Our Prime Minister has given them the last warning, the very last warning. And if they continue to go on the path they are going, it is going to be terrible. I have already told you what they are planning, which you all know. Their plan is to turn us against Nnamdi Kanu. That is the plan they are making. To turn Nnamdi Kanu against the people. That is why you see what they are doing. What they are trying to do is to provoke our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa to turn him against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, to turn Mazen Nnamdi Kanu against our prime minister. We know their game, but that game they are playing, we are going to play it along with them very soon. And just as our prime minister said, I pity them. Everyone today that is raising this dust, I pity you. Master Simon Ekpa have said it, that if you continue to tread on that path, if you continue to use Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to blackmail him, that he will turn to a beast. And when he turns to a beast, today, he is being simple. He's just being simple and taking things easy because of the respect he has for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. He's just taking things easy because of the love and care he has for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. He's just taking things easy because of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu presence in the DSS. But a time will come. That time is drawing very near. If you do not retrace your step in this blackmail, if you do not retrace your step in this blackmail, our prime minister have given the last warning that when he is going to take up this challenge and fight it dirty with you, you will regret ever doing that part of blackmail. Since you do not have conscience, a man who has given it all, a man who has lost everything today is in captivity. And all you can do is to use his name to push blackmail against the 70 million Biafrans. All you can do is to use his name to jeopardize the life and security of the 70 million Biafrans. All you can do is to turn him against the same thing he is fighting for. And you think you are going to get free with it. If you continue on that very path, our prime minister has said that he is going to take it upon himself and he is going to turn to a beast. And whatever you see today as suffering, whatever you see today as trouble in Biafra land, you are going to see it in tenfolds. You are going to see it times 10. Whatever thing you are seeing today as stubbornness, whatever thing you are seeing today as civil disobedience, whatever thing you are seeing today in Biafra land as trouble, you are going to see it in tenfold. And then and only then, you will now realize who you want to complain to. Some of you who don't know who Mazen Simon Ekpa is, you are beginning to know him. Some of you who thinks that you can just bamboozle him, you are beginning to know him. Our Prime Minister Mazen Simon Ekpa is beginning to introduce himself little by little, and I hope you are knowing him. Our Prime Minister has begun to introduce himself gradually, and now you begin to understand better. You heard in his broadcast yesterday that the criminals who call themselves governors in the Southeast, the criminals who call themselves elites in the Southeast, the criminals who have refused to let the people be, they gathered themselves together and they went to the French ambassador and they were calling on French ambassador to come and do them a favor, to come and warn Mazen Simon Ekpa for the fact that he's a member of the EU, that he should stand in for them and make a case for them in the EU. Laughable. You don't really know who Mazen Simon Ekpa is. Mazen Simon Ekpa is a Finnish citizen. A Finnish citizen. And you heard what the French ambassador told them. The French ambassador told them to their face that Mazen Simon Ekpa is committing no crime. He has not committed any crime. You should go and dialogue with him. French ambassador told them to their face, go and dialogue with Mazen Simon Ekpa. Go and dialogue with him. And they say they don't know how to reach him. They don't know how to meet him. And he told them, how is that his business? Some of them don't believe who Simon Ekpa is. That is why they were calling him a child initially. They said that boy in Finland. Initially, they were calling him that boy in Finland. You know how they belittle people? That is one thing they do in that contract we call Nigeria. One thing they do that, first of all, they will belittle you. They will make you look very small. They will make you look very irrelevant. If you don't know yourself, you fall aside. But let me tell you, the case of Biafra is different. And the man that's in charge today, Mazen Simon Ekpa, is a different person. He is not somebody you're going to push around. He's not somebody you're going to try to use to play gamble. He's not somebody you can control. They call him a small boy. They say that boy. But today, I believe you are getting the message straight. Now, it has resulted to the consulting embassies, consulting diplomats, to go. There comes a time in life when money cannot solve your problem. There comes a time in life when money cannot solve your problem. This is that time. The Zoological Republic have been sharing money to diplomats in Nigeria to keep the Biafran struggle down. They have been sharing money to Nigeria, to diplomats, to embassies. They have been sharing money to people in order to hold Biafran people down. We have gotten to a stage where your money cannot save you. We have gotten to a stage where your money cannot save you. You are even lucky that our Prime Minister said that the door is still open. Our Prime Minister made it open, that the door is still open. If only they can be able to use their brain and cash into that door that is open. If only they can use their number 6 and cash into that door. If they don't, it is their business. We have no apology to any idiot. And we are not going to step down from our request. Neither are we going to compromise our freedom and safety because of any man. No, it will not happen. The only thing that matters to us today is the freedom of 70 million Biafrans and more. And they must be free. And in that 70 million, Nnamdi Kanu is inclusive. And we say it and say it again. Do you know that thousands of Biafrans are in jail? It is not only Nnamdi Kanu that is in jail because of Biafra. It is not only Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is just a symbol to push on that very request. Nnamdi Kanu is the big name to push forward that request. We are requesting for the freedom of every single Biafran that is in detention. They must be free. And we are putting up this fight to make sure that they are all free. And how are you going to free them? You are going to free them when you free Biafra. When you get Biafra, all the Biafrans that are in jail today, some you know of, some you don't know of, we are going to make sure that everyone will be free. And that is why we will never relent in the pursuit of our freedom. Those of you who don't know Master Simon Ekpa, you are knowing him better now. Last night he introduced himself a little bit. Last night program introduced him a little bit. And you haven't seen all of him. You haven't seen all of him. Last night program introduced him a little bit. He is not a novice in the game. He is not just Master Simon Ekpa. He's not just a Biafran. Our Prime Minister, Master Simon Ekpa, is a legal practitioner. And he read international law. A master degree holder in international law. You know, in my previous program, I was asking you. I was saying in my previous program, I say, go and check the details of our Prime Minister, Master Simon Ekpa. Go and make verification who Master Simon Ekpa is truly. I ask people, I say, with the information available to you, with the ones you have known, I'm now judging based on the things you know. Our Prime Minister, Master Simon Ekpa, you know that Master Simon Ekpa is a legal practitioner. You know very well. Master Simon Ekpa is a politician in Finland. You know that very well, undoubtedly. This information is in the public. Master Simon Ekpa is an ex-serviceman in Finland. This information is in the public. How do you think in your mind? How do you think that in your mind that somebody with these qualifications will now throw it to the trash and begin to do illegal things? I want you to ask yourself this question, my fellow Biafran that is watching. How do you think that a man with this experience and wisdom, knowledge, could throw it to the trash and begin to do something that's illegal? Master Simon Ekpa has everything it takes to be whatever he wants to be today. He has everything he takes to get any money, any amount of money he wants to get. He has everything it takes to be in any position he wants to be, both internationally and locally. Do you think he will throw this career to the dust unnecessarily? Now you understand better that whatever Master Simon Ekpa is doing today, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And I want you to put this in your mind. It is because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not committed any crime and was not committed any crime by speaking to Biafran people when he was in the UK. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was in the UK. He broadcast for more than a decade. In United Kingdom, they know him. They know his address. They know where he lives. But did you hear any day that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was arrested? Did you ever hear any day that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was arrested in the UK? Did you ever hear that? Did you ever hear one day that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was invited by the police in the UK? Never. Because he was not committing any crime. Because the fight and pursuit of his freedom is his right. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu could not be invited by the police or arrested in the United Kingdom while he was in the UK, this fight we are fighting today, the request for our freedom is trying to bring up, we want to get our freedom from the colonial master, which is United Kingdom. The UK themselves, that is the slave master, that is the one using the Fulani to enslave us. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was in their own country and he fought for Biafra for more than a decade. He was never arrested one day. He was never invited to the police, because the fight for freedom is a right for every human being. Self-determination is the right for every human being. The UK government never arrested him one day. They never invited him. Police never invited him, even a day. Do you think they don't know where he is? If there is something you will not take away from the UK, is that they have one of the best police. They have his address. They know where he goes. They know how he moves and everything. But he was never, ever invited by the police one day because he was not committing any crime. He was not committing any crime. The only time Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was arrested was when they pushed him down to Kenya, an African country, where lawlessness is the order of the day. That was where he was kidnapped. And now tell me, if they could not arrest Mazi Nnamdi Kanu while he was in UK broadcasting, how do you think in your wildest dream that anybody will think of arresting Mazi Simon Ekpa? And I want you to compare what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did when he was outside and what Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing now. What is the difference? What is the difference between what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was doing while he was with us and what Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing now? What is the difference? What is different? If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu could be able to hold it for more than a decade, in the UK, how in the wildest dream do you think that Mazi Simon Ekpa, a legal practitioner, a politician in Finland, will lose it? You are insane. You are insane. A man that read international law, a master degree holder in international law, you think he's going to break the law? You think he will just intentionally break the law? You think he will intentionally destroy his career in the West while he's still living in the West? You see, one thing with these people, one thing with these idiots who call themselves politicians in Biafra land, they are so proud. They are so proud that their pride have blindfolded them. The pride have blindfolded them that they cannot see, they cannot read between the lines. Their pride is leading them to their grave, and they are seeing it. But I tell you, if you don't change from your ways, if you don't repent, you are going to be surprised in what you're going to see in the days to come. Our Prime Minister have had enough patience. He has told you, and that is why he tells you what will happen when it doesn't happen. Every step you make, he is 1,000 times ahead of you. Every step you make, he is 1,000 times ahead. And he's not hiding it. He's not hiding it, so you don't say it's a secret. Whatever you do in the secret, the next hours, in the next hours, you see him talk about it. Every secret you have is in his hands. While you were holding your meeting with the French ambassador in Nigeria, he was watching you. He was watching you, and he heard all you said and discussed. And as a good leader, he alerted the Biafran people. He elected Biafran people. And every single thing he has said about you, you never debunked it. There has never been a time he made a revelation and it becomes a lie. Biafra is going to come. It doesn't matter whether you agree or not. That thing you are afraid of, it is going to happen. You see that your fear. That's your fear. It is going to happen. The earlier you get it into your head, the better for you. And these criminals, these politicians are so daft. But they are lucky. They are lucky that Mazi Simon is still giving them that open door. He's still leaving the door open for them to rethink and behave like human. He's still leaving that door open for them to think like human. And that is why you see Mazi Simon is exceptional in all his toughness, in all his demand. He is still leaving an open door. Our Prime Minister Mazi Simon is not happy at the death of anybody. He doesn't derive joy in the loss of life of anybody, including his enemy. No matter how tough our Prime Minister is, he is not delighted at the death of anybody. That is why he is taking his time. Even when they attack him, even when he has his enemies in his pan, even when he has his enemy caged on the corner, he still leaves them. He still leaves them. But that very mercy you are enjoying is not going to be forever. And Mazi Simon have said it. That mercy you are enjoying today will not last forever. If you don't retrace your step from the angle you are going. You see this angle you are going. Using our Supreme Nnamdi Kanu to blackmail the Prime Minister of Biafra. Using Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself to blackmail the Prime Minister of Biafra government in exile. That is the height of it all. And if you don't change from it, you are going to turn him to a beast. And when he turns to a beast, you can't imagine what you are going to see. And Mazi Simon has said it and said it clear that is the direction we're going to move. Since they have chosen the toughest path, since they have chosen that path, we cannot fold our hands and watch them destroy Biafra. We cannot fold our hands and watch them destroy Biafra and Biafrans. Very, very soon, they are going to get what they wish for. That thing they wish for, they are going to get it. That thing they are wishing for, they are going to get it very soon. And I bet you, when the game stands, so many of them will not survive it. So many of them will not survive it. And it seems that is the only alternative. Since they have shown us that the only alternative today is that direction, our Prime Minister has made it clear we will not hesitate to take to that direction. The Lawrence idea will be implemented in Biafra. And it's going to happen very, very soon. The Lawrence idea in Ghana seemed to be the only alternative in this restoration of Biafra. And that Lawrence idea is going to be activated very soon. It is going to be activated since they have refused to see reason. Since they have refused to be reasonable, we cannot fold our hands and watch them destroy Biafra more. They have done enough damage. They have done enough, more than enough damage, and we cannot continue to permit them and watch them do more. Wherever you are in Biafra land today, tighten up your belt. Tighten up your belt. It is no longer business as usual. It is no longer business as usual. The Biafra Liberation Army are more than ready and well equipped to defend Biafra land. And no man born of a woman can stop that. And you have heard from our Prime Minister Mazi Simon. When it comes to alliance, The Biafra Republic government in exile, the government of Biafra have now opened a talk with other West African countries that are fighting for their freedom. Countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, and the Niger. Your friend cannot be our friend, and your enemy cannot be our enemy. It is Biafra first. Anybody that has the same agenda with the Biafran people, we are going to work with them. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter where they belong. As long as you have the same ideology, as long as you stand for freedom, we are going to work with you. And as I'm speaking now, Biafra Republic of Indonesia has opened a talk with other West African countries that are genuinely pursuing their freedom. Through any means, every country have the right to pursue their liberation in any way they want. Either by whatever you call a coup or whatever you call. It doesn't really matter. And it is laughable when you see people in Biafra land, when you see people in Nigeria talk about a coup. When you see an illegitimate government of Nigeria talking about a coup, Nigeria that had just conducted a political coup, a country that just conducted a political coup, that the coup problem is still in the court. The problem is still in the court to resolve. They've not resolved it. You conducted a political coup in your own country, and you call it democracy, and the case is still in the court. And look at you now, pointing hand at people who are now pursuing the agenda of the masses. In the case of Nigeria, their president does not have legitimacy. Their president does not have the support of the masses. But when you come to the Niger Republic, you can see that the masses are the owners of that revolution. You call it a coup, but I call it a revolution. What you see happening in Niger is a revolution of the masses. Look at them taking charge of their land. Look at them. Even the soldiers are not even on the field. It is the masses on the field taking action, going after the criminal politicians one after the other. And you are standing against it. You call it a coup. You want to fight against it to bring back the rejected soul, something that the masses rejected. You want to force them back. You think that Niger is Nigeria, because in your own country, what works is the will of the rich, for the rich, and only for the rich. The will of the few, for the few, and only for the few. You have conducted your own political coup, and you put yourself in power by force. The case is still in the court being discussed, and there you are. You have the gut to open your mouth and talk about someone else. And the most disturbing one, why you know that Africa will never ever survive with the kind of leadership we have. Africa can never see a headway. How can you imagine that ECOWAS of all people, ECOWAS of all people will see somebody that is illegitimate in his own country, somebody that is not accepted by his own country, and they made him chairman. Somebody that you know that has a questionable character, somebody that you know that bought over, that have conducted a coup, a political coup to become a president. ECOWAS know very well. ECOWAS were part of the people who monitored the election, and they saw that the election in Nigeria was rigged, broad daylight. They are very sure, and they know that the political coup was conducted in Nigeria. They know that the masses are not in support of the election in Nigeria. They know very well, and they know it very, very clear. And yet, they know that the person that is parading himself as a president of Nigeria, nobody knows his identity. They don't even know his name. Nobody knows the school he has attended. Nobody knows his age. They don't know his age. This person had been indicted for drugs, a drug baron. And yet, ECOWAS went ahead to make him a chairman, even while cases are still in the court. Now you see how damaged Africa is. You see how rotten Africa is. You see why Biafrans want to get out of the zoo. Because, you see, if you do not destroy the zoo will destroy the whole of Africa. If you do not destroy the so-called contraption called Nigeria, it will corrupt every entity that comes around it. That is why it has become necessary that everybody that is sane, everybody that is sound in the present day, if you are sound, you have to be in the forefront to demand for the dissolution of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. Because that name, that company established by British, was established to serve the purpose of the colonial master. And that purpose is now becoming very clear. When we say that contraption called Nigeria, when we say that Nigeria is built by the British for the British and for the interest of the British, this is it. How can you imagine today that the Malian people, the people from Niger Republic, the Niger Republic people today, that the people want to take their own economy into their own hand. They want to take their destiny into their own hand. They want to move away from slavery completely. They want to move away from total slavery of the French people. They want to move away from their colonial master. The Nigerian people want to move away from their colonial master all of a sudden. It is Nigeria that is volunteering themselves to force them back into slavery. It is the British company called Nigeria that is now in the forefront to force Nigeria back. A fellow African to force them back into slavery. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now you begin to understand how evil the Zoological Republic is. You begin to understand, if you are not from that country, now you begin to understand why we say that country should be broken into pieces and destroyed. It is not even a country. That company, that British company that was meant to serve the purpose of the British Empire, the only purpose why you have the Zoological Republic called Nigeria is to serve the interests of the colonial master. That is why that anything that has to do with the colonial master, they support it. And the colonial masters support them. That is the reason why they will see a drug baron become a president and they don't care. They will still be talking to him. That is why they will see somebody that don't have certificate, somebody that whose character and identity is questionable. They will still allow him to be a president. It is because they can be able to remove him and control him to run their company. A company that needs only fraudsters to run. A company that needs only criminals to run. A country where a sensible person cannot operate. And you want us to fold our hands and be part of that. We will never be part of that madness. The Biafran people have spoken, and they have spoken loudly. We thank Chukwu Okike Abiyama today for our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Mazi Simon Ekpa is standing his ground, doing the needful. Doing the needful lawfully. There is nothing that Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing today that is illegal. Mazi Simon Ekpa has never been found in any illegal activity in the past, in the present, or will you find him in the future? No. Everything that Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing today is legal, has a legal backing. That is why those clowns who are in the zoo, who call themselves politicians, that is why you see them running helter-skelter. They are confused. They are confused. You know where they started? Initially, they thought it is a cheap, they are cheap blackmail. With their blackmail, oh, he will run away. They started, first of all, by calling the embassy of Finland. And when they called the embassy of Finland, you saw people coming out to volunteer and call. People were putting up calls from all angles. They say, I'm calling embassy. And when they called, the embassy told them that Mazi Simon Ekpa is a British citizen and he has his rights. Mazi Simon Ekpa is a British citizen and every of his rights is protected, including the right to freedom of speech. And we have not found him wanted. Whatever he's demanding today is the right thing. Listen to him. Dialogue with him. And they call it a bluff. The Zoological Republic thought it was a joke. And they went after the Minister of External Affairs. The Minister of External Affairs engaged Finland and told them about Mazi Simon Ekpa, this and that and that. And they thought it was ended. After that discussion, it yielded nothing. Mazi Simon Ekpa continued to broadcast. They tried to frame him up. They say he's collecting money for himself. He's conducting fundraising for himself. They brought a lot of charges for him. And Finland said, okay. They called Mazi Simon Ekpa question. They made their verification. They checked their record, checked his record, right, left, and center. They didn't find him wanted. And that very time, they were saying that, oh, Mazi Simon Ekpa had been arrested. It was news everywhere. He was arrested. He was arrested. He was arrested. Some were celebrating and shouting, oh, Mazi Simon Ekpa is arrested. He has been arrested. He has been arrested. He has been arrested. And they were rejoicing. That same evening, he did a broadcast. And from that time to today, he has never missed one broadcast. And yet, they didn't learn their lesson. After that interrogation, Master Samaraka came back. His record were clean and pure. They came again. They began to plan. They began to call on the British embassy, begin to call on Finland government. You see them online, calling on Finland government. Their Senate came, calling on Finland government. Master Samaraka was just seated and laughing at them. And after all this nonsense they have pushed out there, it didn't yield any fruit. Because the person they are talking about has not committed any crime known to man. Has not committed any crime known to man. And you know how foolish they are. These people forget that it is the same thing that Master Nnamdi Kanu was doing that he was not indicted. The same thing that Master Nnamdi Kanu did. That he came to the court and warned them hands down in their court. And Master Samaraka has not even done as much as Master Nnamdi Kanu have done. And you are calling for his arrest. Calling him a terrorist. And for every one of us, now you understand why Master Nnamdi Kanu said that when they call you a terrorist, when you are fighting for your freedom of your people, they call you a terrorist. It's a badge of honor. Now you understand that. Master Nnamdi Kanu said in his word that when you are fighting for the freedom of your people and they call you a terrorist, it's a badge of honor. Today, you have seen that badge of honor on our Prime Minister, Master Samaraka. And now, you begin to understand better why they made him ambassador of peace. The global ambassador of peace. Now you begin to understand it. Now you begin to see why every time they come against him, he makes progress. Every time they fight him, he becomes more popular. Every time they want to bring him down, he rises up. These people will never learn. But they are going to learn in a hard way. Since they have resorted to blackmail to Biafra, because that is where our heart lies. They know how important Biafran people are. They know how we hold ourselves to heart. They know how the Biafran suffering is paining us. And now they resort to blackmail. Using the name of the same man who put his life on the line for Biafra. You are using him to blackmail Biafran people. You are using him to tarnish the image of the Prime Minister. You go to your press, you talk rubbish, you write nonsense, you continue to take people for pilgrimage in the DSS. Every time you go to DSS, it is Master Nnamdi Kanu said, Master Nnamdi Kanu said, Master Nnamdi Kanu, and you use your media to push those lies. Push those lies. Master Samaraka have given the last warning. And it cannot be business as usual anymore. That as long as you continue on that path of that black belt to use Master Nnamdi Kanu, you are going to lose every gap he's leaving for you. You are going to lose every leniency he has for you. You are going to lose every little respect that remains for you. Every security that remains for you, he's going to take it out. And he's going to turn to a beast and fight you dirty. Whatever you see today as trouble, you are going to see 10 times of it. Call it a bluff, and you have yourself to blame. I will urge everybody in Biafra land today that is watching, prepare for what is coming. You must get prepared. You must get yourself prepared. You see this freedom? You see this freedom? We are getting to the toughest part of it. And after this stage we are going to get into, Biafra will come. We are focused on the pursuit of Biafra for 2023. You see, that is why I love Master Samaraka. He's not just saying, oh, Biafra will come, Biafra will come, without a target. You have to have a target in what you are looking for. That is how human beings operate. When you are pursuing something, you have a target. You have a time frame from this time to this time. And you work towards that time frame. In the case of the restoration of Biafra, the time frame is there. And we will not relent to fight and fight it dirty till the last minute of 2023. And I bet you the game is on. Whatever you see today as suffering is not suffering. Whatever you see today, take it as your own responsibility, as the sacrifice you have to make for the coming of Biafra. When they tell you that Biafran people are being punished, they are suffering, tell them that freedom doesn't come cheap. Tell them that everybody have to pay a sacrifice. When they tell you that Biafran land is being ravaged and people are not finding it easy, tell them there's no way you can find it easy when you're pursuing your freedom. Just go back to history and check every country that have fought for their freedom. South Africa never found it easy when they were fighting for their freedom. They didn't find it easy. It was dirty and really, really bad. If it doesn't get bad, it will not get better. If it doesn't get bad, it will not get better. When India, we are fighting for their own from the British, it wasn't easy. It got dirty. When the blacks, we are fighting for their freedom in the United States, it wasn't easy. It was dirty. If you are genuinely fighting for your freedom, it is going to get dirty. It is going to get tough. It is not a bed of roses. If it becomes chips and child's play, you sleep on your bed and you throw your legs up, you know you are not doing anything. Just know that you are joking. Know that you're a joker. And if you're not ready to key into this sacrifice, you are a joker. You are not ready. And we can't help you. As for those of us who are determined and concerned about the freedom of your family, we will not leave any stone unturned. You see, sit at home? Sit at home has come to stay. And when they ask you, will sit at home bring freedom? Tell them sit at home will bring you freedom. Get it into, tell them sit at home will bring freedom. And if you are complaining about sit at home, will you prefer an open war? If you don't want sit at home, do you prefer an open war? If you prefer an open war, so be it. Go and ask the Ukraine people what they are seeing. In Ukraine today, look at what is going on in Ukraine. How many days? Do they know the day of expiration of their sit at home? Do they know when their own sit at home is going to end? They don't know. So if that one is better for you, make your choice. As for those of us who are pursuing this freedom, we are not going to stop. We are not going to stop. Prepare yourself. We have chosen the easiest path for you. Prepare yourself. Just get ready. The freedom of 70 million Biafrans and more is what matters, not an individual freedom. And let me tell you, Biafra is bigger than anybody. No matter who you are, no matter what sacrifice you think you have made, Biafra is bigger than you. And that is why Biafra first. Our Prime Minister has announced it and said, it is Biafra first. It is Biafra first, before anything you can bring on the table. So I urge you, any place you are in Biafra land, prepare for the tougher days ahead. Join the sit at home. It is to save your life. Join the sit at home. It is for your own security. Be security conscious at all times. If you see something, say something. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Don't expose yourself to danger. Pay attention to your environment. Anything you see, pay attention. More especially when you see the terrorists coming. Stay away. Stay away from them. Run for your life. Allow the stage for the Biafra Liberation Army to do their job. They are already doing their job. You know, initially, we are talking about shooting down the airplane of the enemy. And finally, it has been confirmed. It has been confirmed that Biafra Liberation Army shot down their airplane, shot down their jet, and more will go down. More will go down. Let them continue to come to Biafra land. They don't know how prepared we are. They don't know. It is no longer a joke. And since they want to turn us to a beast, just as Master Samuel have said, so be it. So be it. Are we going to stop? We have just started. And every Biafra must prepare themselves for a journey into Biafra. I appreciate every one of you that have joined me on this broadcast from beginning to the end. Wherever you are joining from, I say, may Chukwu Okike be my guide and protect you. Every Biafran and Biafran friends and those who are looking for freedom, you will see freedom in your lifetime. May Chukwu Okike be my guide and protect the ESN, guide and protect the Liberation Army, guide and protect the BNL, guide and protect all those that are fighting for Biafra genuinely. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect all our media warriors, all the Umuada, guide and protect all the members of the cabinet. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, wherever he is. We commit him in the hand of Chukwu Okike for divine grace, divine protection, for divine knowledge, divine wisdom. May Chukwu Okike protect him. Send the legion of angels to lead him in his going out and coming in. He will never dash his foot against a stone. We commit our Supreme Leader Nnamdi Kanu before Chukwu Okike for divine grace, for guidance, for protection, for healing. May Chukwu Okikame and give him more revelations. Keep him strong and let him be focused. Whatever they have done to him, to manipulate him, whatever they have done to his health, may Chukwu Okikame and reverse it. I pray that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will join us very soon. No weapon formed or fashioned against the Biafra people shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Prime Minister Mazen Nnamdi Kanu shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu shall prosper. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being with me. I will join you again in the evening in King David Exploit His Posse. Thank you so much and stay safe. Bye-bye.